I guess we've spoken to a few different people that have done masters or PhD degrees across Australia in different areas of sport. The specific degree that you did, what did you feel was, I guess, most relevant to your working, I guess, your career after that?
I think the most important part is actually that skill-based learning and actually getting in there and working and understanding how those high performance environments work. I think you can learn all the coursework that you want, but when you get out there and immerse yourself in that high performance sport, make those relationships that you need to, and understand the dynamics of how it works. I think that's probably the most important part. I think obviously once you get into the PhDs and the masters, you're really trying to be specific at what you're trying to achieve and how you want to frame yourself going forward. So um, that's always my tip to interns or people who are looking to go down those lines, and asking whether it's actually the best opportunity, or are they just looking to sort of weave their way in some other way.
Right. Okay. And look, you've worked across a few different sports, cricket, rugby, you've worked in your league and hockey at different times as well. What are some key differences that you've noticed working across a range of sports?
Yeah, obviously having a range of different coaches through that journey is obviously a main difference in terms of analytics. What I've sort of found over time is the coaches that are driven by analytics a bit more are those that have sort of worked their way up through a coaching apprenticeship kind of thing, and definitely have sort of understood the ins and outs of different components of coaching that they need to utilize, whether that's analytics, psychology, and all of these different parameters. Lucky at my time at Brumbies, someone like Stephen Larkham was really driven by analytics, and sort of that bred down to the other coaches and the players. So that allowed my job to be a lot easier to get buy-in, and I guess allowed myself, as someone who didn't really know rugby inside out, to start to question tactics or strategies through numbers and vision.
Right, awesome. And you spent 5 of those years, with the Brumbies in South Australian cricket. What were the main, I guess, areas that you got involved with over there?
Yeah, so I've elaborated on a tiny bit on it before, but at Brumbies, it was everything from the cutting of GPS data to understand what loads our players were doing at every training session and every game, and understanding what kind of high running loads they were having at different points there. That sort of included also looking at the video analytics component, and sort of how we're using our data provider Prozone to get the most out of what we were doing, and also included filming training and cutting that up so that coaches could review it, and I guess obviously have those conversations with players along the lines there.
Right,
Um,
nice.
at Saka, it was down a similar line, probably in terms of the video analytics, but also had that real hardcore data component. As you're fully aware, cricket's got a lot of numbers, but it hasn't necessarily been used the right way. So I guess my job was to come in and start asking questions, and try to drive Saka towards some evidence-based decision making, and that was in several forms, from the men's game, the women's game, pathways and recruitment. So, been very lucky that T20's really taken off in the last 3 or 4 years,
Yeah.
and that allowed my job to become a lot easier in terms of being able to sell the value of numbers going forward.
Hope you enjoyed this episode. If you'd like to check out more of our content, go to sporttechdaily.com or follow us on social media across Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, or Instagram.